Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial on BusinessNet. So today we are going to look at how we can run Java program on CMD and on Netbeans itself. I hope by now you've installed the Netbeans IDE 8.2. If you haven't, I have a link down there and I have a video which will guide you on how to install Netbeans and JDK. So let's head on to it. So the first one, now to run Java program on CMD, you must first add the Java directory to the system variables. And to do that, let's hit on Windows flag on the system. Let's search for system. Hit on it. Go to advanced system settings, environment variables. This is under system variables. Search for path. Edit, and then the edit here. Okay, so you are going to add it here. Okay, so now let's locate where we've stored our JDK. So hit Control flag E, then the Windows program files, Java bin. So this is the bin folder. This bin contains all the necessary files, the JSL, the Javac, they are all here. Okay, and this will help the CMD to run the Java program. So copy the address, copy. Now let's close this folder, and then we are here, right? Okay, the environment variables. Add new. Control paste. Okay. Hit on OK. So we are done with the variables. Now let's test whether they are working before we continue to the number 2. Flag. Type PowerShell. Type PowerShell. So I'm going to use PowerShell. You can also use the CMD, right? CMD. It will work. The same thing. Okay. It will work. So you can use both. It will work. Alright, so over here, let's check. Type javac -version. Okay, so we are seeing that's a Java compiler. Okay, Java compiler 17. So it's correct, it's working. Now let's move to the second point. It says create a folder on desktop where we are going to save our test Java program as .java. Alright. So we have to create a folder on desktop. So create a folder on desktop. Let's name it as Run Java. Okay. Now let's write our Java code that we want to run on the CMD. So hit test or notepad. Now let's write our code here. So Java runs on class. So the first is the class, the name of the class. Later we explain this thing, so don't worry. This is how it is done. Every code depends on the class. Okay, so Java is very sensitive to the class. Now you have to write the method. Main, then the string. With time you'll be used to this code because you'll be writing them often. Okay, these are basic codes in Java, so they look fearful, but it's easy. You can easily remember them. Now the output, the code itself, right? So this is the form of a method, okay, and it determines what the output should be like. Okay, so system is a keyword, so it starts with capital S. I want output a string, so I should bring a double quotes. Hello world. And then I'll end with a semicolon. So this is basically my code. Okay, I want to output hello world from the CMD point of view. When we are done, we will do for the Netbeans point of view. Okay, and if you have not installed the Netbeans I'll leave a link below. I'll also leave a link for the code on my website, so that if you cannot type, the file will be readily available for you over there. Okay, so now let's continue. Let's save this code. Now we have to save it as our class. Okay, the class name is hello, so let's use the same to save the code. So hello.java. Please, Java is a case sensitive program, so make sure you don't interchange your case letters, right? Save. Okay, now we've saved our code. Now we are going to output hello world from the CMD point of view, so bear in mind. Now let's head on to our PowerShell or the CMD. Now over here, let's change the directory to our folder. We are changing the directory from GNS here to my Java folder. I'm sure yours will be different based on how you've named your PC. So CD is change direction, and then let's copy the direction here, copy the link, and paste it here. So you are changing directory to this folder where our Java code resides. So it has been changed to my Java. Hope you can see clearly. Now before we can run the Java program, we need to compile it. So we're going to use the Java compiler in the bin directory. So Java is Java compiler, and then the name of our program, hello.java. Now it has compiled for us. We didn't experience any error. Now let's go to our folder and see what has happened. We created just hello.java, but now we have hello.class, which means that the Java compiler has compiled our test program here into a Java class file. Okay, now we can now use the Java to interpret it. Then we have the output of our program. So to go ahead, let's use Java. So this is Java interpreter. This also can be located in the bin directory. Okay, the bin directory. Don't forget. Here, write hello without any extension, as we did for this one. Okay, and you hit enter. Now you can see hello world as an output over here. Okay, so this is basically how to use CMD to run a program in Java. Okay, now let's do the second way, where we can use our Netbeans. So let me minimize this and minimize that. So in Netbeans, let's open our Netbeans quickly. It will take some time to load. Okay, so if you've installed your Netbeans and you open it, this is what you will see for the first time. So forget about these things. These are programs I'm working on. Okay, so however, in order to create a new program in Netbeans, you hit on the file, new project, and then next. Okay, and then you give it a name. Let's say finish. So that's it, and next. Okay, so now we have our program here. So you see that we created a class in our other program, the test file. So the same way, see this code, I told you they are fearsome, but you must get to know them. You'll be using them daily in the Java program. Okay, so it's not something really scary. Now we realize that all these things have been provided for us already, unlike the test file that we did by ourselves. So we have this provided for us by the Netbeans. So all what we have to do is to input the code, the output code. So let's compare. You see the same thing, class that, and then public static void is here, and then so we're going to input this code here. So let's copy hello world, copy, and let's put it here. Okay, now to run this code, you must hit the play button there, or you can right click and then you use the run file, or you can also use the shift F6 to run the file, but I'm going to use this play button here. So just click on it. Use output hello world, and then we add this output to hello world. Okay, so